to succeed. And this is just feel from multiple opportunities together. Watch this pass. Lead them to the rim. This Spurs team is as good a passing team as there is in the league. They space the floor as well as anyone. These championships were defined on the defensive end. If they win it, this championship will be defined with what they do on the offensive end. And that's a credit to Greg Popovich understanding what his team's best opportunity to win is.
Jefferson rising up and rebounded by Green. I know one thing, Doris. They've been calling that 4-down play for over a decade now. With number 21 there. Jackson looking inside. On the drive, had it blocked by Millsap. 14-point deficit with Devin Harris back at point for Utah. Millsap trying to post up Steven Jackson. Good defense to knock it away. 11 left on the shot clock.
So it's interesting, you know, as deep as San Antonio is, one of the things you want to watch is who do they close games with. Now, it may not be important here because it's plus 14, but, you know, we'll see. Do they get tested?
Hayward missed everything. Out of bounds. You talk about that now. You talk about closing out, and with a team that's so balanced, who's your go-to guy?
Well, Tony Parker. I mean, you know, Pop has basically said it's your team. Here's the interesting thing, though, moving forward in the playoffs. The Spurs have played at such a level that they're blowing teams out. They haven't been tested in a while. You know, it's almost like I think Coach would love a close game because I think he wants his team to have to execute under those conditions.
They come into this one today, winners in 21 of their last 23 contests. They have 3 double-digit winning streaks this season. Most recently, the 10-1 and 11 before that. Jefferson backs down Duncan.
Wow.
Now Jefferson, man, he's got that old man game below the rim that works.
He sure does. So effective. I just like that he's grown so much. I thought it was an and one. I thought he should have been at the free throw line right there.
Ginobili off the Diaw screen. Got to the paint and drew the foul that time.
Let's see if Jefferson takes a hit. See, I can officiate the game if you give me a second look and slow it down. He was frustrated coming up the floor. That's probably a good no call, but he was really, really frustrated.
At the other end, Ginobili back at the foul line. San Antonio took 3 out of 4 during the regular season against the Utah Jazz. And the bad news for Utah is that the one game that they defeated San Antonio was the one game that Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan took off, or one of.
It's a little easier than, isn't it?
It's a handicap. 4.5 minutes to go. San Antonio has led virtually from the opening tip. Jefferson looking inside, and Jackson fouled Paul Millsap. Millsap will go to the free throw line. That's the 3rd personal foul against Steven Jackson. Playoffs getting underway in earnest yesterday. Don't forget, coming up after this one, over on ABC at 3 o'clock Eastern time, it's the Los Angeles Lakers hosting the Denver Nuggets. And Kobe Bryant, well rested, coming off of that shin injury. Took 7 games off down the stretch of the regular season.
That's a bad shin. That's it. Denver would be an interesting team to watch. You know, as they were when they were healthy at the start of the year, they looked tremendous. Danilo Gallinari, does he get his offensive game back? Because he's so integral to their success.
11-point lead for San Antonio. Tony Parker back in the ballgame. Eight on the shot clock for Jackson. Draws the foul from Derek Favors. That's the 3rd foul against Favors. Jackson wasn't seeing a lot of playing time in Milwaukee under head coach Scott Skiles. Was openly unhappy about his position on the team and was looking for a deal and got a trade to Golden State. Spent a minute there and then was moved to San Antonio for Richard Jefferson. And this team here never missed a beat with Jefferson leaving.
It never seemed like a great fit for Richard Jefferson. This guy, he's had success. here. And Pop said sometimes you got to remind him of certain things. But for us, he's been very good. And the edginess, the toughness. And, you know, he's checking Millsap because they've got their big lineup on the floor. So that'll be an interesting thing. Him contending with Paul Millsap. Let's see, do they go through Millsap here?
Lead back up to 13. 4 minutes to go. Hayward off the screen, and now Jefferson calls for it. Faces up on Duncan. Man, what a great move. Footwork. No wonder he watched Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
huh?
exactly. That's a heck of a move. To turn your back and still have the presence of where you are on the floor.
It's Duncan's turn. They clear it out for him. Good defense by Jefferson to poke it away. Millsap with the floater. That's going to be a foul against Utah. They had a great opportunity at it to cut it to 9.
Yeah, because Jefferson made good on the last basket. Just that rocker move in front of Tim Duncan, just getting him closer to the rim. Your defender's that close to the rim, forget about it. The only thing Tim could have done there is foul. That's a very good move.
Meanwhile, Steven Jackson back to the foul line for San Antonio, an 82% foul shooter on the season. Jackson with 12 off of Popovich's bench today. San Antonio last year, if you remember, lost to Memphis in the first round. They're just the second #1 seed to lose since the format went to best 4 out of 7 to an 8 seed. Does Utah present any of the same issues that Memphis did last year? Do you see any of that?
We wondered about their big lineup because that seemed to be the one Achilles heel of San Antonio when you look at the dominance of Zach Randolph and Marc Gasol last year. But stylistically, two different front court guys.
Favors with the miss. Gets the offensive rebound to Hayward. Harris for 3. Kevin Harris, Doris, seemed to make an impact on this game in the first quarter, but has been quiet since. Why do you think that is?
Well, and it's interesting because he started the second half strong, but he's only been effective in pockets. And his level of aggression has been different.
Parker with the soft touch. Tony Parker with 28 today. And the lead back up to 15 as we approach 2.5 to go in game 1. Game 2 will be Wednesday. Utah will fly home for a couple of nights and come back. Harris going to try it again. Same result. 1 and done at the offensive end for the Jazz.
Tony Parker has been chomping at the bit after that Memphis series. He's been chomping at the bit to get back on the floor.
Intriguing matchups in the Western Conference in the playoff picture. Andrew Bynum and the Los Angeles Lakers getting ready to lace one up against Denver. That's on ABC. Tipping off in a few minutes.
It's finally here. A Taco Supreme and a shell made of real nacho cheese Doritos.